is one of those things that doesn't work properly today. And I'm on this side for now, just for a moment, but I want to make sure that there's sound before I go to the other side of the room. Do, 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 do. Well, there's people on it. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I haven't heard anybody say if they can hear me or not. Can you hear me? Somebody please tell me. Let's see if I can hear me from myself. Let me go to myself. Yeah. My channel, my live. I'm going to see for myself if I have sound. Oh, I have sound. Okay, good. Let's turn this around. Turning the camera around. Back that way. Here we go. Yay, it's working. Okay. I have no 100% idea why YouTube has to force people to have the up and down. And I am teaching myself, if you guys didn't know this. Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. Today's Sunday, so Sunday, where we have technical problems because Tiffy is trying to teach herself on the computer how to use multiple cameras, but my sound problem is a problem. I can do multiple cameras, but I don't have sound, and I don't know why. None of my microphones work with, and I even downloaded drivers on my computer and everything, and it's not, whatever. It's technical stuff that I'm not good at, but I'm trying to teach myself so that I don't have to have an up and down video. I don't like up and down videos. I don't like that you can barely see the chat, and when you start to type, the keyboard takes up the whole screen. We watch from cell phones, most of us, and those from a TV. You have black bars on the side. It's just, it's nonsense. And I want to do my way. So this is my way. So I'm learning. For now, I could just move my lappy top out of the way. And let's see who is all finally here for today's video. I know it's wide. I changed it to wide. It took forever to figure it out. All right, Karen, Judy, Melena, Lily, Deborah, Jim, Heather, Judy, Teresa, Lois, Betty, Lori, Dawn, Cheryl, Suzanne, Beverly, and so many more. Hello, everybody. Thank you for dealing with the off and on because, yeah, that's a lot of lives that just went. And
yeah, we did 3 right in a row.
3 right in a row, and it probably confused the heck out of all of you, and I'm sorry for that. So if I can keep figuring this, it's literally what it is YouTube's main screen when I turn live from a cell phone is trying to force me to go up and down. So when I hit live, it's still trying to go up and down, and I have to hit the button like 500 times for it to turn it this direction. And the 3 times I did hit it, it still tried to do up and down. I don't want up and down. So tomorrow we're going to actually do a run test with a mail opening through the computer, through the program, in hopes, even though the sound is not going to be as great quality, it should still work if I run the sound from the computer itself for now until I figure out a sound solution. But tomorrow I'm going to test it through a different streaming service so that way I can have multiple cameras and angles and so on. Right now it just didn't work because it doesn't want to work through the YouTube app itself, and I didn't turn on the other one because I have to schedule a live for that one, and I didn't have a scheduled live. So there's that. Tech stuff that nobody understands, not even me. So I have been working, not diligently, on this baby quilt. I've been working sporadically on this baby quilt. And so far, Scott told me it was best, and I thought too, that you guys should see how I interface. Last week you saw how I cut the fabrics or the clothing, and I did most of the interfacing of the clothes, but now I'm going to show you guys how I interface, which is putting the interfacing the SF101 Shape Flex. It's woven interfacing, so it's a cotton woven and it has glue on one side. I'm going to show you how I do this because I pre-cut the shirts. Some people pre-cut the interfacing, put it on the shirt, then cut the shirt. I don't do that. I literally pre-cut everything. So that way all of my items, let me find shirts and stuff that have it, but all this whole entire box top, it's a box top. All these pieces of these cute little fabrics like Cookie Monster and stuff all have interfacing on them. And this is not a queen size worth yet. So I'm going to move this completely out of the way for now so that, oops, here, put this in there too. So that way I can start putting interfacing on the last of the shirts that I chopped up. But, well, I have to move it out of my way because I'm going to have to use the whole table. So not yet, yeah. I'm going to show you guys how I do this. Literally right here in front of you, because or else we're moving the camera everywhere and blah, 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 blah. So these are all about, and I'm just taking a wild guess here. These are all about 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9 by 11-ish or smaller chunks here. And what I do is, let me make sure, We're going to put that right there for now. And we're going to take the interfacing, and this is how I do this. Can you see the whole table? Yeah, you can. Okay, good. I unravel a bunch of it, like this. And then I obviously take the paper. And by the way, when you use interfacing, read the instructions first. This interfacing says to use steam for 10 to 15 seconds. So some people say, oh, you don't use steam on interfacing. The paper actually tells you to. So read your papers because the little papers tell you what it's supposed to be, just in case you didn't know and you're new. All right, so I lay this out on my cutting mat like this, and then I grab a rotary cutter, and then I take my shirts and I place them on here. And I try to get the most out of everything. So I literally line these up like this. I lay them. This one I can't do yet, because this one I can't do right yet, because this one I have to piece onto it because it has a pocket and I'm trying to keep that pocket a pocket. So with the little zipper, I'm going to take these shirts and I lay them on here like this. Getting the most
That bow tie once is my first New Year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. This one I can't do yet either. I got to take the bow tie off of it. Some of them I have to do stuff too. All right, lay that here. I'm gonna lay this one up here. Lay the little froggy below it. And I smooth it out so that the shirt is already like flat on the interfacing. And I also rotate the shirt's top bottom like this. As you can see, like this one's facing up, this one's facing up towards you, but this one's facing down, upside down. I rotate them because the top of the shirt is skinnier than the bottom. So if you rotate them, they actually lay better. That one's okay to lay like that. All right, and then rotary cutter. I take and I go in between like that. I just use my eyes, and if I end up cutting off little pieces, I just remove them out of the way and go right here, in between, just like that. And then once they're separated in between, then I go across the shirts and then remove anything I chopped off. And Thumper's coming to say hi. He's out meowing in the hallway saying, pay attention to me. All right.
I have to make sure Mama's doing it right.
Yep, he has to make sure I'm doing things right. So I just cut away all the excess. Some of it's garbage and I don't need it. And the rest of it I save for The next piece that I would strip piece it, I guess is the word. I'd put it into single strips. So I'm going to move these on top like that. Separate these two. Take that off of there. I saved these chunks. Where did I put the last one? No, I stuck it over there. I don't even know where my pile of them are. That over there. Stop eating fabric. Go. Thumper's been in a mood lately doing things that he doesn't normally do, like eating fabric, which is very strange. He never did that before, and all of a sudden, now he is. But only in here, and it's only the t-shirts. The little t-shirt scraps that are
The smell.
over there. We think,
The
Scott
smell on
says
the
it's the
t-shirt.
smell of the t-shirts because they are from a baby. All right, that can go in that pile. And that is separated. I always cut the selvage off too. Even though the selvage does have glue on it, I don't need it on there. And then that. So now it's time. Do you have an iron plugged in, the purple one, please?
No, because you didn't tell me you was ready.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready now.
You told me it'd be a while. You didn't put the match or anything. Yeah. Now it is.
Okay. I'm just going to lay these all on top of each other while that iron warms up. And then one by one, we don't put them face up because there is, like I was saying last week on Sunday, most of these shirts, and even if you guys do a t-shirt, a lot of t-shirts have vinyl. Vinyl melts onto your iron and then it ruins everything. So instead of being face up, because this is a woven, we're going to put it face down, smooth it out, and you iron from the face down side. That way you're not ruining the vinyl that's on the front. And then you hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Let the steam through because this is a steam iron. This is the part that takes forever, and this is why I have not finished all the interfacing yet, because I could have done most of this and showed you just a few, but it takes a long time to do. And there we have one that has interfacing on it. Just like that. It's not coming off. I cannot separate it. It is literally on there. So there's one. Grab the second one. Upside down. Smooth it out. It's the size it needs to be. And literally just do this. This is like, it's really easy to do. And I just move the iron. I really don't hold for 10 to 15 seconds. I typically hold for like 5 to 8. And if you're really counting, it's probably like 3 to 5.
It says 15 now.
But it says 15 seconds on the paper with steam, and it's steaming. Obviously, you can't see or hear that, so. But this is how it works. And then sometimes I just take and press the steam button like this and do a quick over on the whole entire thing. And voila. And yes, see, this glue now has melted. It's kind of, it doesn't really ruin this mat. It kind of actually picks up all the yuck on it. And then I just peel it off. So there's another one. All right, Mickey Mouse, here we come. Upside down, smooth it out. The Mickey Mouse shirt is rolling, so I'm going to make sure that I unroll that real quick. Because, when you cut a t-shirt, it kind of starts to roll up. So I'm going to make sure that I smooth that roll out. Excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean for the cough in the microphone. Ooh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I was wondering. I'm pretty sure you had gotten them. All right, here we go. It's ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Will the wool mat intensify the steam heat?
Yes, the wool mat helps. That's why I'm not really holding it as long, because the wool mat like helps with the heat. So if it wasn't a wool mat, then I would really actually hold for 10 to 15 seconds like it says to do for a fact. Like literally count it. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. You know what I mean? Some irons have a light that'll warn you that you're holding it down too long and you need to lift it. So just lift your iron and, put it back down.
How long will it hold if you wait to assemble it? How long will the interfacing stay on there?
Oh, the interfacing is permanently on here. So it's on here until I assemble it, and then it'll still be on here. So I have to still cut all these to a specific amount, a specific size going forward. And if it doesn't reach that size, I'm going to piece on pieces to that size. That way all of these are about the same size because of how I'm puzzling it together. All right, this shirt has the collar right here still on it because I need that 1/4 of an inch. So I left it there. So my interfacing is actually going to be needing to be pressed along the collar. Like literally, I'm pushing it in on there and then holding it on. That way it touches every part of it. So that way my 1/4 of an inch is still there. So I like literally have to go along the edge of the collar. Some of the shirts still have the collar or they still have the side pieces of the shirt. And I had to leave those because I won't get the proper size. And I don't want to lose half of the pictures on most of these. At least I'm not trying to. You end up losing them anyway, especially with baby clothes because baby clothes are tiny. Like I already put interfacing on all the tiny stuff. Like there was some preemie newborn stuff in here. And I put interfacing on those already. Because they're so tiny, And needs a little bit more on that collar.
Bill wants to see my new iron.
This is Scotty's new iron. It do not when you get new irons that are okay, so here's an iron thing for you guys because you're here and you want to learn. Hold that up real quick. This is a ceramic base iron. To tell if it's a ceramic base, it usually has, hold that up, the base. It usually has a grayer color. If it's not ceramic, it's silver color, okay? Ceramics are usually hold the heat longer. There's a problem with his new iron though. It is actually ceramic coated. That means there's a spray of ceramic coat over it. Starch pulls that off. So hold it up one more time so they can see the boo-boo on it. Those boo-boos is from starch pulling it off. So do not use a spray coated. So you'll know if a ceramic is spray coated or not because it's a thicker base. This is 100% ceramic, so it's thick. That one's spray coated, so it's very thin, the base of, the hot part of the iron. So just know if you buy an iron, ceramic base is thicker and coated is thin.
Mine was $5 from China.
Yeah, and his is $5 from China, which is a dollar store iron. So, This, on the other hand, is a $200 iron, so about $130 actually, maybe $140, something like that for this new one. Yeah, it depends on where you buy this one.
SewingMachinesPlus, it was $200.
Yeah, SewingMachinesPlus, $200. Other places it was less. Missouri Star has them, and Fat Quarter Shop has them, and they're less. But Amazon has them, and you can find them for all sorts of prices because, Amazon is always all over the place with their price. Same with eBay. All right. But yeah, just in case you guys wanted to know that. So there's ceramic and then aluminum-based irons.
Have you ever used a Cricut heat press?
Cricut heat press? No. My mom has one. I used hers. She had a little mini that she brought when she was here once. Because she brought her, pressing stuff to put vinyl. And she has the big square one. But I've never used it. I actually, in the future... because I do a lot of t-shirt quilts, and I'm kind of interested in vinyl to make my own vinyl shirts, is getting a actual heat press, you know, the kind that you pull the top down and it presses everything together. I was kind of thinking of getting one of those because I saw it on sale once and it was like $250 instead of $375, and I was like, oh, well, that's a good deal. Then I found a used one here in town on Facebook Marketplace, and it was $100, and I was like, oh my goodness! But I obviously am not totally into it because I need to buy a Cricut then, so that I can, you know, cut all the vinyl out to even do that kind of stuff.
Can you use the fusible with knitted tops?
You can use it on knitted tops. I use it on a sweatshirt. There's 2 sweatshirts in all of this. I've used it on sweatshirts. I'm using it on flannel. I'm using it on regular stuff and all this t-shirt, the t-shirt material, the stretch. I don't know, what are they made with? Cotton and nylon or something? I have no idea. And there's another one. And look, the vinyl on here, the little pictures, they're saved. Nothing wrong with them. They didn't melt or anything. This one has embroidery. I'm gonna just pull this block up, and it has an embroidery, you know, on the back side of embroidery. Same with my shirt. When I embroidered it, there's a special like soft to the skin stuff that I put over the embroidery so that it doesn't like rub and feel funky. That's on here, and I'm still going to put the interfacing with that on here. So just making sure, even though there's embroidery on here, I'm just making sure that it stays, and then I'll hold it, you know, the same amount of time as any other one. So you could put the interfacing on anything. Wovens, knits, you know, sweatshirts, which are, I don't even know what they're made of, flannel, which is flannel, you know, whatever you want. You can even put it on, if you want to make a quilt out of towels. I actually saw that on YouTube. Someone made a quilt out of towels, not regular towels, but dish towels, like the ones that had cute little designs on them. It's kind of weird, but yeah, they put interfacing on the outside because it was a towel, and then on the back side, she used giant beach towels and pieced them together as the back of the quilt. It was so fucking bad word. It was so crazy. Sorry. I don't think I would use a towel. That would be heavy, a towel quilt. Oof. All right, and now it's on an embroidered block. Pretty cool.
It's a little froggy getting a fly. I like it.
Just smooth it out. I have little pieces. Oh, there's my pile. I have a pile of interfacing behind me. I knew it was somewhere in here. Any other questions? I feel like I'm like all of a sudden it just went silent. Oh. Like I said, this is the part that takes forever. Yes, Walmart sells interfacing. That's actually where we buy it. By the bolt. It's the Pellon brand, which is the most common brand for interfacing. See? All done. Yay. One more. This one has the sides of the t-shirt on it still. So I'm trying to make sure that they stay facing the way that I want them as the interfacing goes on. I'm going to lay it on here real quick. There we go.
How many shirts do you need?
A lot. How many shirts do I need was the question. I need a lot because this is baby clothes. The last time I used about 130 items. So, and there's about 100 and something. But the backs of all the shirts, the backs of everything is what becomes the sides to make everything cut to size, to a specific size so that I can puzzle it together and it'll look here, there, and everywhere. It'll look all scattered and cool. But for a baby, I'm doing a queen size, so it's a lot. If I was just doing like a lap, then maybe, I don't know, like 80 baby clothes things, you know, if you want the fronts. If you want front and back, then you can use, 20 fronts and 20 backs and get a little baby quilt out of it. I mean, that's up to you. Like I said, about 100 and something is what I'm using for the top. Because the blocks don't come out very big. And the little preemie clothes that are in here, I have to add to them to even make even a 10-inch block. I have to add like 3 or 4 times to the sides. Like a log cabin style,
Do you know what video you did the black, white, gray diamond hexagons?
Black, white, gray, diamond hexagons. So Tuxedo Stars video is like Insomniac video, like 38 through 40 or 39 through 42, something like that is the Tuxedo Stars. If you're on the Facebook group, there's actually a chart that Karen has put in there that lists what video has what in it on the Insomniac series. All right, let's move this out of the way momentarily so we can cut out some more. Can you just... this is fine right here.
Have you ever had the interfacing come off?
I have not had the interfacing come off, no. It actually stays pretty darn good. I don't have a problem with the Pellon brand ever. I've tried to rip it off before because I needed to because I had a wrinkle on the top, and it doesn't come off very well. Let's just say that. All right. Okay, I just got to say this real quick. I'm in an MS flare. My legs are absolutely just shooting pains. If you guys have nerve problems or peripheral neuropathy, you'll know, or even diabetic neuropathy, the shooting up the legs from the feet and up, it's driving me nuts, and it's making it hard to stand or do things. So if you haven't noticed the last few weeks, that's what's been happening with me. So I've been doing a lot of sitting and relaxing, kicking my feet up. I want to stand to do this, but it's literally killing me. All right, so I'm just going to lay these out. Obviously taking the most, let's lay this one this way because that was cut kind of crooked. We'll put it the crooked way. Getting the most out of all of this. I'm doing upside down, right side up, upside down, right side up on the shirts because of the way the sleeves are, like I said. That one fit that way perfectly. This one's so cute. It's a, what is it called? St. Patrick's Day T-Rex. And there's a second T-Rex. Wow, I stacked the T-Rexes together. How funny.
Do you take anything for your nerve pain?
I take gabapentin for nerve pain.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
But it doesn't really work. It's, one of those things. I get like a few seconds of relief. I could feel it kicking in, and then within like 30 minutes, poof, I'm back to like severe, and it's like restless legs while it happens. I just wiggle and squirm constantly. It's kind of annoying, actually, especially when you live with me, because I kick and squirm and move constantly, even during the day. It's not a night thing. It's a daytime thing and a nighttime thing.
Can you use 911 FF? Pellon 911?
So the Pellon fusible featherweight, It's a little bit thicker than this and it's not woven. You can use it, yes, on t-shirt quilts. I have in the past put it on there because I ran out of my 101 and needed the 911 because I keep bolts of this stuff on the other side of the desk. There's bolts of all sorts of different kind of interfacings for bags, clothes, you name it. I have it all. Because I buy the bolt. And I ran out of 101 once doing a regular big people size t-shirt quilt, not a baby one. And yeah, I had to switch, and it's thicker, and it will. You have to, if you have a Juki, you have to adjust the top, the pressure foot tension, because it will rip it right off. I don't know why, it kind of like shoves it under, kind of like you're sewing it without interfacing on it. So you have to be very careful. All right. I just kind of do all sorts of things to separate this. Right there. Right here. There. That guy's separated. Cut across the top. Let's come down right here. Separate these two. I go through a lot of interfacing, let's just say that. All different kinds for all different kinds of projects. I definitely prefer the 101 for t-shirts though.
Is there a guide for which Pellon is good for different projects?
Yeah, the Pellon actually has a website. Go to pellon.com and they actually have a chart of what goes to what. At least the last time I went on Pellon they did. So they should still have it. I don't think they're gonna take the chart away because people buy their products, so. But yeah, Pellon itself, the website has a chart. Wow, my cutting is way off today too. Like my brain is not seeing what I'm doing. Those of you who have MS, you know what I'm talking about. And or fibromyalgia. People with fibromyalgia get brain fog too, and so do rheumatoid arthritis. And those going through menopause. All right, next mount. There. Bring this back to me. And an iron. Hold on 2 seconds. I think having my knees bent makes things worse sometimes. Okay, let's do this. Lay it out.
How much interfacing do you need for an adult-sized t-shirt quilt made into a queen-size quilt?
The last time I made an adult-sized t-shirt quilt into a queen-size quilt, I used a bolt and a half of, and they come with, how many yards are on here? 15 yards. So I used 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, probably like 20 yards. Maybe a little bit more. It's also nice to keep a pair of scissors on hand. Oh man, it rolled. No, it's sticking to the roll. Did this side roll too? Nope, just this side. This is a lot of work that goes and that's involved, especially with the baby. Adult size ones, they're not as hard, I don't think, because the adult size one is a bigger chunk. You make them all the same size, and then you put sashing between them, and then call it a day. This you have to do a lot of extra work for, especially because I puzzle these together, so they're all different sizes, and I make them fit by adding fabric to them. So it's a little bit more work. And this is twice the 4 times the amount of the average t-shirts. So, and the extra time it takes to interface them. That's probably what takes the longest. And that's why I haven't finished putting all these on here yet. And you're watching me do this again this week. And next week we'll be sewing them. Yay. I'm going to sew a little bit between here and there, but you know.
If the interfacing goes past the t-shirt, does it get glue on the mat?
It doesn't. It actually, I mean, it does. It depends on your mat. If you're using this cotton one underneath, it does. It gets stuck to it. But the wool mat, it kind of sticks a little, but on the way up, it actually pulls all the junk, like the little threads that get on your wool mat. It actually pulls them off. So it's actually like cleaning at the same time. And I don't see any residue. So I haven't had any residue issues yet. That's not to say that, you know, but there is, I mean, it's minuscule amounts that are on the sides right here. So, I mean, it's not a lot. So let's put it on the pile. Careful, careful. Smooth it out. I don't have many shirts left to do. And I do have adult shirts in here, big chunks of flannel like this, but I'm cutting them down to use them. I don't have a specific size, but I'm going to just turn those into strips because those are what I'm going to use for sashing along with, I have regular fabric. I have some Toy Story and some, I don't know what that other show is. The little blue character, Word Party. I have Word Party fabric and Toy Story fabric.
What does the SF stand for?
SF stands for
Something fusible.
I know it says it right here. Shape Flex. I knew it was S. Shape Flex.
And that means it's fusible, right?
Yes, this is the fusible kind. They do sell the sew-in kind. Although on t-shirt quilts, I have some sew-in. And I tried it on another project. I didn't like it, honestly, because it doesn't stay. It's not really stabilizing because you sewed it in. It's only sewed around the edges. It's not really stabilizing anything to me. But I bought some and, you know, thought it would work for like bags and stuff, but it really doesn't. Just like the foam, I bought some sew-in foam. I don't like that either. I have to quilt it anyway, but I don't like that it's sew-in. I like that iron-on or fusible.
What would you do to correct a t-shirt that is cut too small?
I would add to it if it's a t-shirt that's cut too small, but if you're too short and you're really close to your letters or numbers or whatever your picture that's on here, you only need 1/4 inch all the way around it, honestly. So if you have a symmetrical, this is a symmetrical picture here. If you have a symmetrical picture, as long as you have 1/4 inch all the way around it, then just add to it. So you could take the back of the shirt, the back side, which is the same color fabric, and add to the sides and the top and bottom to make it big again. So, I mean, that way you have the same fabric if you want, or you can use different fabric. That's up to you. That's designer's choice there.
Do you use a jersey needle?
I use a regular 9014. It's a titanium needle though, so it lasts a little bit longer, but I've tried with the other needles for before all this, but you know what? The 9014 works just as good, if not better, honestly. I do use, like when I do embroidery on shirts and my, you know, in the fabric room where the embroidery machine is, I do use a jersey needle for embroidery on t-shirts. I do have one in there for that. Not one, I have a case of jerseys for that. I learned my lesson on the embroidery machine. There's so many things I was making mistakes with, but I'm brand new to it, and I still don't know all of it. But now I know how to keep this nice and keep it from shriveling and stuff, so that's a good thing, right? I need to make me some more shirts. I have a whole stack of shirts that I got. They're cutesy shirts for me that fit me nicely that I need to embroider. I just haven't done it yet.
Mommy is my favorite word.
Yeah, mommy is my favorite word. Scotty was reading it. He's like, mommy is my favorite word. I love it.
I love it.
I thought it was cute too. I like the next one. It says, I am turtly ready for bed. That's the next one. It says, I am turtly ready for bed. That's me.
Too cool.
I'm always turtly ready for bed. Like, especially during what's going on with my body right now. I'm like, oh, I could sleep all day. And Scotty actually had to wake me up for my nap today because I'm exhausted. He's like, you go live in an hour and a half, get up.
I didn't say it that
He didn't say it like that, but
nice.
He was nice about it. He's like, Tiffy, you gotta get up, you're going live soon.
What's your embroidery machine?
My embroidery machine is a Brother PRS 100. PRS 100. Yeah, that's what it is. Scotty put a link in for it. They make a newer one. They have the newer model of it that does more things and takes bigger embroidery hoops. Mine doesn't take anything bigger than the one that it came with, which is a 7-inch by 7-inch. So I haven't done any in the hoop projects because I don't know any in the hoop projects that are for such small frames. Although I want to do them, I do. I watched T on T Quilts. I watched her make a wallet using the in the hoop program stuff, and I really want to do that kind of stuff. But her hoop was bigger than mine, and the project came out bigger. So I don't know how I would do that with the smaller hoop size. And I thought about trading my embroidery machine in for a better one that takes bigger because I can do that. But I don't know.
No.
I don't use it enough to justify changing a new one. So I'll just have to find in the hoop programs that are, in the hoop projects that are for smaller stuff.
What's our hoop size?
7-inch by 7-inch.
Oh, it's 7 by 7?
Yeah, it's like 7 and something eighths by whatever. But it typically only does a 7-inch because remember, it has that outline that stops us. Hey, it's bigger than the little Brother 4x4s. Ooh, look at that. That word one. Look what it did.
I see.
The vinyl burned on the mat. That's not happened yet. That's so strange.
That's a first.
The little two happy faces did it. Oh, it's just wiping right off, though. Good. That's so weird. I've done a lot of t-shirts already, and none of that's happened. It was just the little happy faces on that. Let me make sure that they look good on here. They're not ruined on here. They're still good. The little happy faces, the vinyl burned onto my wool mat. That is strange. That's the first time that's ever happened. Oops, gotta re-straighten this one back out again. I'm gonna give it a little heat, then hold it. Maybe I held it for longer than 10, 15 seconds while I was talking. I don't know. You know, I think I'm gonna have to find a new place for these drawers. Maybe I'll put them on the opposite side of me. That
Better to have a standalone embroidery machine or embroidery sewing combo.
Okay. The question is it better to have a standalone sewing machine or embroidery sewing machine combo? So the embroidery sewing machine combos have way, way, way more options. They have this Brother Dream Machine thing that literally can scan an image and then turn that image into an embroidery. Literally. Like, that is awesome. So, but they're like $20,000 of awesomeness. So
So yeah, you're not getting one.
I will never get one, but they have their hoop. When I was at QuiltCon, that hoop must have been at least this long by like that wide. Like it was huge. So, and that I know they make big hoops, the industrial 10 needle embroidery machines. Yeah, they can do a lot of stuff. They do have big hoops because people do large giant shirts and hats and all sorts of stuff on those 10 needles. But I think design wise, those all-in-one machines, it's on a screen. You can see it right there. You don't have to go choose a file on a computer, send it over to your embroidery machine. So honestly, I would say the combos would probably be better, honestly. But the standalones are better for business. You know, if you're doing t-shirts in bulk all the time and you're constantly running the machine, I think the standalone is better. So it just depends, I guess. But for me, I should have got myself a all-in-one combo. But mine was free. I won it, and I can't complain. So, but you know, I've played with the other ones now, and I'm like, oh, someday, when I'm a rich girl, which will never happen. Yeah, if I ever come into money, I'm totally going to get the best of the best machines. Let me tell you. Well, besides the Juki, that's the best of the best there. But everything else, I mean, I like my industrial too, but I got the darn thing to make bags. And guess what I haven't been doing? Making bags. This last couple months, I have been not doing diddly squat. I've been mainly long arm quilting because I have so much client work and my own work. And the second thing I'm doing is jobs, piecing and quilting jobs on the side because I have start to finish jobs too. And that's why I'm not starting lately. I'm doing patterns for other people that take weeks to do in the video series because I literally have I have an order that I have to do before Christmas for 10 Tiffy size 2 bags, 10 of them. So, I really have a lot of things to do. And a Tiffy bag takes like 3 hours to make. So,
Not for you.
not for me. It takes about an hour and a half. But still, it's a lot of work. And I got to do 10 of them. So, nothing against the person that's, hired me to do that's probably here. But nothing against that. I obviously am going to do it. But I overwhelm myself since it's just me. And Scotty likes to help, but he can't help because he doesn't know the next steps for me and he won't sew. So that makes it a little hard. He'll iron and stuff.
Don't throw me under the bus.
But he's not going to sew
truth.
it. He doesn't want to sew because I get mad that he's using my sewing machine, but I don't anymore because I own 2 of these Jukis. And I told him he can use the other Juki, but now he doesn't want to. He didn't want to use it because it was my only, good machine. But now I have 2 of them. I could set it up and teach him how to use it. It's not hard anyway. It's really easy to use the machine. I got to pull this down. That seam. Oh, okay, it is good. It's a flat one that's been overlocked. That's good. I prefer that. I don't know why more companies don't overlock that. Instead, they just leave it a seam and you got to fold it back. This one is bubble vinyl on this next shirt that I'm going to be doing. I don't think any of them have been bubble vinyl yet. So this next one is bubble vinyl. Don't worry, you're not going to ruin your bubble vinyl. Which is the kind that sticks out on the little kids' clothes. I don't think adults' clothes have bubble vinyl on them. it's not, a bubble vinyl is probably not the word for it either. It's probably something else. I just call it bubble vinyl because it bubbles out to create a 3D look.
How do you figure out how much to charge to make a t-shirt quilt?
I have a basic start price. So like adult t-shirt quilts, most people charge like $20 to $25 a shirt. And then you bring it plus labor, obviously. And then they have other charges, surcharges, blah, blah, blah. I have just a basic starting price because I already know how much time it's going to take me to make it. And I know how much effort I'm putting into it because I've been doing t-shirt quilts since I started. That was like the, third thing that I did. That was the third project that someone came to me with when I first started quilting. And when I first started quilting, I also had plenty of people that found out I quilted. Even people that came and worked on our house like that, they were like, oh, you're a quilter? Can you make me something? Some of them, I'd tell them the price and they would be like, oh, that's a lot of money and never call me back. And the other ones would be like, heck yeah, I want it. So I made like Star Wars, it had clothing in it too. Star Wars quilts for people and all sorts of stuff. So I've been doing this since the beginning. So now I have like a basic. In the beginning, I wasn't charging much at all. And I did a lot of work and I realized it. Then it kind of, expanded and more work kept coming in. And then I had to charge more because I was putting a lot of effort. And I realized, okay, so now I have a basic starting price and, they pay half down. And when I'm done, then they, get the other half. They pay the other half and bam, it's really easy. So it's depending on the size of the quilt. I know how many t-shirts you need for a specific size. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little less, depending on if it's like sorority girl clothes from little skinny cheerleader sizes, smaller than mine.
What kind of long arm do you have?
What kind of long arm do I have? I have a King Quilter 2 Elite. It's a special edition. Mine has the 7-inch screen. Yeah, it's a 7-inch screen. I had to think about the size for a second there. Scott put a link in, so if you want to know more about it. This is personal opinion. I found that my machine so far, after playing with every kind of machine, and then I used Becca's handy quilter for, a week, or 2 weeks about. Anyway, I played with it. I've played with Gamels. I've played with APQS. I've played with you just name it. I've played with them, Grace, all that. My machine's the best. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. That's my own personal opinion, but it moves so smoothly. I don't have any problems. Yes, I've had, skip stitches. Here lately, my tension I've been fighting with, but it's only on client quilts. I don't know why. It's like I said, it's only on client quilts, but either way, it moves smoothly. It's really easy to use, really easy to thread. There's no added anything to it. I don't have to worry about this, and that. I just oil in the bobbin casing after bobbin changes, one little tiny drop. So sorry, talking is also affecting my throat. Like I said, MS episode. If you guys didn't know, it's dysphagia is also part of it. Talking a lot and coughing. Yeah, I've played with all those machines and just personally, I don't know what it is about mine, but it's better. And it's the cheaper version. So, save money and buy a good machine. The frame's nice. The wheels move on it perfectly. I don't know what it is. I can move and quilt, and I have, and I've showed you guys, with one finger, literally my pinky finger. All the other machines I played with, you can't do that. Oh, look, see? The bubble, you could see that. I don't know if you guys could tell that it's bubbled out, but the bubble vinyl did not smash. It's still bubbly. The green came off. Oh, look at that. That's okay. It didn't leave any marks on here, but look at this. It just wipes off. All right, a few more left to do, and then I can start trimming squares and stuff like that. Plus, I got to do the one that has the pocket, so I got to show you guys how I do that. I have all my little scrap pieces too, so I could show you. Sorry for the crinkling sounds. And yes, I just throw it across the room because Scott will clean it up later for me.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that will do.
Yep. He cleans up my messes in here. Like I had Thumper was coming in here because I worked in here a lot this week and Scott was in here with me. And Thumper was coming in here and he was eating the little pieces of fabric that are all over the floor in here from the t-shirt quilts, from the t-shirts that I'm making a quilt with. So we had to stop that and Scott had to vacuum and still some of the pieces are on the floor and guess who's finding them? Mr. Thumper. Again, I'm making the best of the amount of interfacing here. Oh, Karen, you didn't have to do that. That was so awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. So like this shirt right here with this brave little cub, I'm going to lose the picture on it and the 1/4 inch because that was literally on it was on a onesie and it came around and the picture was right at the bottom. So I wasn't able to get the feet in there. Oh, Judy. You guys don't have to do that, you know. And for those that do those kind of things, there is also a link in the description below all of my videos for other ways to donate. If you guys are going to do that. So thank you. Yeah, because YouTube takes 30% of that. Just for those that didn't know. I just leave it on there because some people like to do that. So, and thank you. Thank you for doing that. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you there's other ways. All right, I'm going to put this towards the bottom because I can use that piece between the two for that next shirt, the shark one. I'm aiming here, but my aim is off thanks to my brain. All right, I'm just going to roll this out of the way for now. We're going to cut away the selvage all at once. Nice long cut. There we go. All right, let me separate these. And I try to get the most out of the shirts too, by the way, like nice big chunks. I don't want them all to be like cut down to where it's only the circle of the picture. I try to use as much of the shirt as possible in case you were curious. So I save all that.
The one lady tried to tip jar, she said it didn't work.
Really?
Yeah, we need to check it out.
I might have to fix that then. Sorry about that.
The tip jars are big out there.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, that's already separated. Look at me. Roll. I'm going to have to do something about my legs, though. Okay. Okay, save that there, because I'm going to show how to do that one. Okay. Before I even bring the iron over, we're going to interface this. So I'm going to turn this upside down, okay, because the front side, you can see it has a zipper pocket on this one. And yes, the vinyl of the shark will, because that was on the seam, will be in the seam again. I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to lift the pocket and fold it onto itself. If it'll stay. Give it a little push. No, it doesn't want to stay. Anyway, I'm going to take my excess scrap piece. I'm going to put it on underneath that pocket. I'm going to slide it all the way to the zipper. literally like that.
Is there a reason you do not measure and cut with a ruler at this point?
I don't measure and cut with a ruler because there's no need. If you need to and you don't trust yourself trying to cut straight, but most of these aren't straight when I'm laying it on there. They're kind of off of each other, so I have to go here, there, and everywhere. So I just do with the rotary cutter without any rulers. All right, so I got the interfacing on the bottom. Now I'm going to put the pocket down and then roll the pocket piece that other way. Is that enough? Oh, look at that, perfect amount. I'm going to put it right here on the top. Line this up just a little bit more that way. I'm going to cut away the excess on both sides, because I'm going to have to reline this up anyway once I get to the ironing board. All right, make sure it's under the pocket, not above the pocket, because the pocket's going to be part of the shirt. And then I'm going to take these pieces that I just chopped off and stick them right here underneath, so that the whole entire thing is interfacing on it. This one's not thick enough. Let's cut a little thicker of a piece. All right, there. There we go. That's better. One more. And yes, you can piece together interfacing, by the way. Just make sure that you have the glue side down, because I've done it where I accidentally put it straight directly to an iron before. And yeah, that was not pretty. Right, those pieces are trash. That one goes in the scraps. And this will be carefully lifted and placed right here. I will re-straighten it back out real quick because I lifted it. And I'm just putting the interfacing like a little puzzle in here. Smooth it out. And yes, I can quilt on the long arm with pockets because I could feel on the frame and I can stitch. I'll show you once I interface this the whole way. I can stitch around the pocket to hold the pocket down. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. Let me get all these little pieces on here. Get them to stay first and then hold it. It's Max.
No.
Sorry, my daughter's on the phone. Packages and all. I'm making sure this is like fully on here. All right, so I'm going to show you real quick what I mean by this. When it's on the long arm, so once this is finally pieced into
that is so cool.
a quilt, and it's on the long arm, right? Here's the zipper. I know it's there. The outside of the pocket is right here, okay? And if it stays flat once it gets to the section where I'm quilting this area, I can feel with my fingers the lip of that pocket on the bottoms and on the sides. Literally just right now, you can feel it. So if it was pressed, say it was being loaded on the long arm, I can feel, and I actually can kind of see the frame of it, and I can even mark it if I wanted to. So when I get to quilting it, and I'm quilting around, blah, 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 I get to right here. I watch out for the zipper, obviously. I'll come down that pocket right along like 1/8 of an inch towards the edge of it on the pocket itself, on both sides and across the bottom. That way, once it's in the quilt and it's moving around, if I had quilting like lower or something, the pocket will never start to pucker under. Because I've done pockets before on the long arm, I've left them, and they don't pucker under on the quilt. So you can literally have it as a usable pocket, and then I'll quilt across the top, and then obviously those sides, and it'll be 100% usable. It will never get ruined. You can open it up when it's on the quilt and stick, change in it or a little note or whatever you want, as long as you watch out for the zipper. So you can still put pockets, and then you just frankenpiece your interfacing on them. But make sure you put away from the pocket. Leave the pocket open and free. That's so much easier to have an open and free instead of interfaced down, because the interfacing will start to yank over time, and then it'll just come apart. All right. That's done. Let's get the rest of these finished. Yeah, I leave like men's shirts, like I've done regular men's shirts, like button-ups, I've left the pocket on those. I just stitch around the pocket on the long arm to stabilize it. So the natural stitching that are on those pockets just go over that, around the edge. And if it's a double stitch line, stitch on one of those stitch lines to hold that pocket down. That way, if it's used, it won't yank on the quilt all funny. So always just stitch them down. But I've left tons of pockets. I even leave pockets on bags. You've guys seen in my videos, backpacks with jeans and stuff, I leave the pockets. It's not going to do anything. You just stitch around it and it holds it down, and it's not going to like yank on it funny, It's part of the thing. So I'm going to turn sideways and stretch my legs. I think eventually I'm just going to move. I have a drawer under here that's full of thread. It's my thread drawer. I think I'm going to move it to the other side because it's not in the way of my knee lift or my presser foot. Maybe it'll keep my presser foot, my sewing foot thing from sliding, actually. It's skinny, but it's in my way when I sit right here, and my legs need to kind of be straight right now because they're achy, and if I touch my skin, it's literally turning white and staying white, which is not good. Oh, look at that. The steam button on here is like not working. Interesting.
Need more water?
Yeah, it needs water.
That could be low.
That's fine.
It's supposed to stand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I ain't putting it on there if it ain't gonna work. I don't like this thing. Too fancy gadgety.
He doesn't like fancy gadgety stuff.
My $5 one works just fine.
I still have a few more shirts to cut up too that I haven't got to yet. Like, here's one right here where the words come into the collar. So I haven't done that yet because I want to make sure that even if I cut off a 1/4 inch of this K right here for working, where it says working, I want to make sure it still looks like a K and not like something else. So there's stuff like that. And then the mama wants things like this in there. These are little shorts that have pockets. So I have to split the center and use like the half and half of it. Maxine is here. Come say hi. If you guys have not met my daughter Maxine yet, this is Maxine, for those that are new to my channel. Your hair is bright. That's what's bright.
Yeah.
It's like, woo!
See how long it is?
Yeah.
It's like,
Look at that.
my nose now.
Good job.
I put in pigtails and ponytails. Yeah. Well, I'm going to Justin's nail.
All of it? Why are you going up there?
Yeah, I'm taking
Sorry, guys.
my friend Nana to jury duty tomorrow.
Oh, he's going to jury duty too.
Next week?
Next week.
When's that tomorrow?
Yeah.
I can help you quick, but I think you won't.
I have a friend in the car.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's like, do you have room?
Yeah, I have room.
There's like almost as much.
It's all car parts. Sorry, guys. Scott's leaving, but I have a chat right here, so I'll put my googly eyes on so that I can see it because he's not in the room right now. All right. So that's my daughter, Maxine. She's my youngest daughter. If the other one was here, I would say her name purposely to turn on all of your machines, your little talkie things, because I named my kid that before that even existed. Funny thing is I didn't even know anybody with that name until that. Ponyo's with Daddy, Eric. Her little doggy is Ponyo, and he's super adorable. He's a, I don't know, dog. He's just a small dog. They have the no tail. They have like a little butt tail or whatever, and they're super hyper and playful. That kind of dog. Oh yeah. We can do that. We'll start it when Scott comes in because he's helping. My best friend Cyrus's daddy, Justin. You guys met him in videos before. He gets his mail here, and he ordered a bunch of car parts. So they are all here, and Scott's helping Maxine pick up the boxes to load them so that she can take them to him. Okay. Alexa, fart. Only because Bill's probably watching and it's going to go make the noises. Oh, you're so funny, Ian. How many of you Alexa's just farted? Oh, that's funny. You guys don't ever get to see Alexa anymore because she's in Tennessee. They want to start a auction.
Yeah, I know, but I'm doing stuff with Maxine.
Yeah. Is it done now?
We have a youngin' here.
Is it all done?
She's still.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Do you
Tiffany,
use the
her
back of the
Alexa.
t-shirts as well?
Beverly said her Alexa did it. What?
Do you use the back of the t-shirts as well?
Yes, I use the backs. The backs mainly I use, okay, so say I have this t-shirt and I have the back of this t-shirt right here. I will cut this into strips, and then if I want this to be like 10.5 inches, I'll put a strip here and a strip there, just to make it bigger. But yeah, I use the backs for the puzzling part, which I have not interfaced any of that either. So far, I'm only doing the fronts so that I can trim all the fronts down to a size that works and then go from there, because that's the next step. A triumphant one is what my Alexa told me. The one that's right there on top, the set. No? Do the little one then. That's right there. Yeah. All right, we're going to throw up an auction right now.
You have like 10 other things in the other room?
I have to go get one, yeah. I can go get one. Just do that one. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me go grab something, guys, because we don't have any of the other stuff in here. Ugh. All right. To the fabric room, because that's where all the quilts are. Oh, I guess I only have one right now because that. Oh, we have these. Right there. Okay. Sorry, guys. Gotta find stuff. knocking right now. And you guys know how this works. The highest
Am I going this way?
bidder, the highest bidder wins. Goes this way. Here, let's just do this. It's going to start off at 10. I'm going to let you guys see the whole thing for 2 seconds. So this is a square in a square quilt with a border. It's just a little baby quilt. That is, I totally forgot, so I'm going to measure right now. It is 35 by 51. 35 by 51. I'm going to be in the way of it though so that I can finish doing this. So I'll just let it run. If you are out of the country and you win, you'll have to pay your shipping. But if you're inside the US, it'll be free shipping. All right, just a few more left of these to do. All right, it's at $30. I gotta pop that off of there. See if that's even possible. I don't even think I could see those stitches on there. We're at 35, nope, 40. The quilting on it is flowers, by the way. All over flowers is their leaves. Nope, it's just flowers and loops. I'll have the camera up here in just a second. We're at 45. Oh, it's catching up. That's what it was. The chat on mine is not caught up.
How many hours would you estimate that it takes to put a t-shirt quilt top together?
How many hours would I estimate it takes to put a t-shirt quilt top together? Well, last week was 2 hours. This week, 2 hours. We're at an hour and a half. Plus, I worked on it for about 3.5 hours during this week. So far, that's however many hours, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. 7.5 hours so far. And I'm nowhere close to being done. And I'm working at everybody's speed, not my fast speed, because this does take time to do all this. So, yeah. All right, let's bring the camera up closer. You'll bring it to the camera?
I'm just going to turn it around for now.
Oh, he's going to turn it around for now so you guys can see the back, and then we'll do up close. It's really cute. The back is just a flower print, which matches the front's fabrics. We're at 75.
Flag. Oh, it has a tag on it too.
Yeah, it has a tag on it. So, this is a question. Got any tips on using the Sulky sports uniform shirts? 100% polyester is the fabric. So I've had those in when I did the sorority quilt. That was the last one that I did those kind of shirts. And you know what? You just interface them the same as regular, but do it from the back side. So put your interfacing onto the back side of it. Make sure you smooth the shirt out and then put your interfacing on it and smooth that out onto it. Just try not to stretch it when you're putting it on there. And it's going to be the same. You sew it with a jersey or a knit needle or whatever, or 9014, because that's what I use and I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, it's a tiny flower print on the back, so he's going to come show it up on the camera. We're at 80,
Show him the tag too.
And he's going to show the tag too.
I could get it right side up.
So it does say that it was done by me, Tiffany's Quilting Life, with my name too. Those are my new
It's
tags.
in cursive, so only
It's-
people of our era and older can
Yeah,
read it.
it's in cursive. Scott says the only people that can read it are people of our era and older, because the youngers, they don't teach cursive in school anymore,
Nope.
so they don't know how to read cursive.
Only a few of our kids know cursive.
Only a few of the kids write in cursive even, so yeah. Cyrus,
no, only a
Cyrus
few-
was the only one that never did cursive. He wrote sloppy like a doctor.
Yeah,
So you guys could see the stitching. Could they see it from the front when you held it up?
I think so.
That's the back of the quilt. It's just flowers.
We're at $90.
Okay, it's at 90.
And we're bidding on the quilt in front
We're
of the
bidding
camera.
on the quilt that's in front of the camera. That is what's going on right now. Scotty's going to hang it back up for a few minutes while I finish doing this. It was 40, what did I say? 40
I don't know. I was out of the room.
something by 51.
I could go wash my hands.
It was 51. I remember that number.
I'll do it. So.
You just need the wide. I don't need the length because I remember it's 51.
By 33 and a half.
By
34,
35.
34.
Yeah, it's not stretched out though. So it's like 34, 35 by 51. It's a baby crib quilt is what it's the size. If I was to have sold it online on Etsy, I would have listed it as a crib quilt because it's the length and size for a crib. Sorry, I got to fold the t-shirt's trying to roll. Sometimes when the t-shirt rolls too much, I go over it real quick it doesn't want to stop rolling. All right, let's put this back on there. Oh, now I want to roll on that side. Aye.
On 100% polyester, should I use a lower temperature when putting on the interfacing?
Yeah, put it on, let's see, what does this one have say so I could see it? Put it on synthetic. I'm running mine on cotton. The actual directions say to run it on minimum. But I'm running mine on the cotton linen one because this is a cotton interfacing and I'm not holding it as long as it says to. All right, 95 for Dawn going once. 95 for Dawn going twice, and sold to Dawn for $95. Dawn, don't forget to email me at tiffanysquiltinglife@yahoo.com.
Oh, she knows what to do.
But you already know what to do, so yeah, you know how it works. Just, you know how to do it. Welcome everybody that's joining in. We got about 15, 20 minutes left of being on, so I'm gonna skip past the fact that I need to I gotta take the stitches out of this bow here so that I can get this off because I'm going to this is the baby's first New Year shirt. Mama definitely wants this in the quilt. I gotta pop this off and then re-sew it further down because I won't be able to get the top part of this shirt, that had the sleeves. I need to go about right here and then put this down here some. So that one I'm going to take apart later. I will get to it. We're going to hang up another auction. And this one is a 2-part set. And this one's going to start off at 10. So this has like a little table runner or table topper. So if like you have a dresser and you want to put this on the top of a dresser and then hang this on the wall above it, because they are matchy-matchy. The backs are exactly the same.
Put the hanging things on it.
And there's hanging sleeves on it, hanging clips on it so that it can be hung. There was more right here somewhere. Here.
Good, I got it.
Okay.
Just keep sewing.
Did I finish this? I don't remember. I'm going to do it over again. All right, we're at 15. This one has custom embroidery on it. Like I said, it is a wall hanging. He's going to show up close. Let me.
Right now they can't even see.
I don't remember what it was, so it is 25 by 29.5 for the wall hanging, and the table topper is 13 wide by 22 long. So it is a matching set. We'll come up close with it. I'll have him hold it up close. All right, it's at 30. You can unplug the iron. I'm done with it for now. I will come up. Actually, just leave it hanging right there. I'm just going to disconnect for a second. All right, the camera's going to move, guys. Like thoroughly and utterly move. Camera's moving. So this has a embroidered bird. I love that. And then I trapuntoed it, so it's puffy. I don't know if you guys can tell see how it sticks out? It's puffy. And I did that with the batting with the bird. So that was like in the hoop, I did that. It is just a meander. The border fabrics are different. Well, they're the same, but different on both sides. So it's opposite on the opposite side, like that. This is just the triangles. The back on both of them, they both have tags that say Tiffany's Quilting Life. And then the backs are both exactly this fabric. They are both meander quilted, by the way. They're bound in the same color as well. So again, that's the back. It's brown. There's the tag. And this one has hanging hooks right there. So you can see there's 4 of them that go across. They fit a dowel. And I'm going to show you real quick what I mean by a dowel. And it looks really cool just because we're going to show you one of my personal quilts. That's how they hang. So you put a dowel up and then you hang it on the rod like that. And you can see the whole quilt. And you don't get that from a hanging sleeve. You don't get the fold on it. This one has a hanging sleeve and it has a fold from the dowel running through the sleeve. So with these ribbon hooks, it actually sits better. So, all right, let's put you guys back in the hook. All right, stay right there. I gotta plug it back in. There we go.
Showing the back of them yet?
Yeah, I did. You don't have to hold the back up. I showed it to them. It's brown.
Okay, did you show me the tag?
Yep, I showed them the tag on both. All right. This goes over there.
Cross, I know where it goes.
This goes under here. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out my rotating cutting mat. And what I'm going to do is cut these down, and this is how I do this. So I'm just going to grab a ruler and my rotary cutter. We're at 65, by the way. And I am going to line this up to where I get the most of. So you can see I want the most of this fabric. I'm also using the picture that's on here. It kind of is doing like a curve. I'm also going to line it up with the top and put the curve down at the bottom. So I'm going to trim one side off, throw it in the garbage. I'm going to use that straight line to go across the bottom. Wow, my eyes are like super blurry today. That's crazy. All right, go across the bottom. Turn it again. And remember, I'm puzzling this quilt together, so all of my blocks are going to be different sizes. Or my shirts, you know what I'm saying, though. I just call them blocks. All right, and then I see that all these lines are perfectly straight. Up that just a little bit right there. And now I have a perfectly rectangular piece. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to mind the picture. I'm going to use it. So like all three of these dogs, the rows, they're straight. So I'm just kind of going to use them as a guide to keep my first thing straight. I'm using their ears as the guide.
What brand is your rotary board?
My rotating mat is a Fiskars rotating mat. It is a 12 by 12 square. I didn't want the round one when I bought this. They sell round ones. I did not want to buy a round one because I see people online that use the round ones. I watch other YouTubers, you know, and I noticed that on the round ones, their blocks hang off on the big blocks, but they need to trim all four sides. So I wanted a square one so that, because I make square blocks, I need it to be square. And it turns perfectly fine. Huh? I do not remember. Yeah, everywhere sells them. Walmart has this, though. Walmart has it right now, honestly. But, yeah, you guys can try my affiliate links if you're interested. Because one of them will have it. Just type in Fiskars 12-inch cutting mat.
Well, the Walmart's going to be cheaper.
Yeah, Walmart will probably be cheaper, though. That's where mine came from.
Should we call that?
What is it? Where are we at?
65.
All right. We are at 65 to dawn of this lovely wall hanging and table topper, or a dresser topper is what I'm going to call it, or like entry table topper.
Did you show them the hummingbird close up?
Yep, and I showed them the hummingbird, and it's trapuntoed, so it's puffy. All right, we're at dawn for 65, going once, 65 going twice. And sold to Dawn for 65. Dawn, same exact thing. You know how to work this? For those of you that do purchase from my auctions or are curious how it works, oops, we're going in this pile. We bid, and then you can pay via pay. Dawn already knows, but PayPal, Zelle, Venmo are the payment things, and PayPal has a fee. Zelle and Venmo do not, and then you just give me your address, and as long as you're within the United States, it's free shipping. If you're outside of the United States, then we add shipping to your invoice. But you just email us and let us know, which is at tiffanysquiltinglife@yahoo.com. All right, next shirt. I'm going to start with it up and down so that I can see the picture. This one's completely symmetrical, so I'm literally going to line it up an inch. The outside of that, we're going to go, where's that landing? We're going to go 1.25 inches on the outside of that one. We're doing 1 inch on the outside of this. Oh, wow, it lands at 1 inch perfectly right there.
Huh.
All right.
One lady said she bought a bad one of those cutting mats off Amazon, and it falls off the base.
Yeah, this one has never fallen off the base. This one's pretty sturdy, the one that I bought. They didn't have any other ones. Yeah, you have to beware, I guess, if it's going to fall off the base. But no, mine's pretty heavy duty, actually. It has a foam type bottom, so it's, when it's on here, it's anti-slip. It's not going anywhere. And then when it turns, it's magnetized, not magnetized, but whateveritized. So it's supposed to come apart, and then you put the little hook in the thing, lay it down, and it spins. It's like a static cling. I never even took it apart like that. So you can clean in between it because it picks up thread. When you turn it and you swipe things off of it, it picks it up. I didn't even realize that. I've had it this whole entire time and never popped it off. But yeah, it's probably supposed to do that. But it doesn't come off when I'm cutting. It stays. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I never even realized that. Look at me, learning new things right here on live stream. Okay, next one. I won't get 1 inch from that side of the picture, and I want this to be equal. How much is on that side? a little bit over 1/2 inch. So we'll do a little bit over 1/2 inch on this side. Right there. See, if you lay it right here, see it picks up that piece and they can get stuck under there. So that's actually good that it comes apart. And I didn't even know it. That's what I get for not paying attention to things. But then I do a lot of stuff and, you know, I get sidetracked easily. So just over 1/2 inch, line that top up. I don't know what size any of these blocks are. I just know that they are square or rectangle. As long as they have a straight edge, I will make them fit in the quilt because I'm doing a puzzle style. So you can see it's equal on both sides. This one has the turtle embroidery right here on the edge. It's going to be in the seam, so I'm just going to take that side off, just making it straight. It will still be in the seam. I did not undo any of the stitches from the, not embroidery, applique, sorry, this one's applique. Just going to make sure that it's nice and straight. And I'm going to lose the foot on this turtle as well, and that's not my fault. It's not going to fit in the 1/4 inch seam allowance, but that's okay. Oops, because the child that this is going to grow up for is not going to care. Probably won't even know the difference. Only I will because I am the quilter.
He's gonna love it.
He's going to love it. Everybody's going to love it.
And it's gonna get all dirty to use.
Yep.
Be used.
This is going to be heavily used because the current one that I made last time for them. I do have repeat clients too. I have people that have come to me several times now, and or ones that have brought, you know, wanted me to make more than one. I did do a client that wanted 2 quilts for sisters from clothes before, and they ended up with 3 quilts because I had leftover, and I was like, oh, I'll just make a quilumpeter is what I called it. That's my own word, quilumpeter. It is a quilt turned comforter. So it's puffy like a comforter, but it is a quilt. It's quilted like a quilt, but it's a quilumpeter. All right, this one's also going to lose its picture on the bottom, but again, I can't fix that. And it's also going to lose it on the side. I'll try to get the best I can from this, but I guess if the words are there, then that's all that matters, right?
As long as the words are there, he loses a little bit of an ear and a paw.
Yeah, he's going to lose the paw, some of the ear, and of the other paw.
It's okay.
The picture's still there.
You're doing your best.
And yes, I do a 1/4 inch seam just like any other when I make t-shirt quilts. And I also press the seams open. For those that are curious, I press the seams open on t-shirt quilts. Always press them open. I learned my lesson going to the side with all the bulk on the long arm. It was struggling to go over. So now if I press them open every single time, they actually quilt better. Line up. That looks good. Yeah, I won't lose the picture at all up here. Okay, I think it's time to change my blade. I've been doing like 500 projects lately with this blade, and the t-shirt ones are going to dull it the most because there are lots of layers. But see, so this one, this ear is less than 1/4 inch from the edge. So I'm going to lose the tip of the ear. I've already lost the paw with the cutting, and I already lost this paw with the cutting. And this one is literally going to be on the edge of the seam, which is fine because, again, it's for a child. And even if it was for an adult, most people don't know crap. I'm going to say the word about quilts. They don't. We know. They don't. We know what puts it together and everything. Nobody else knows. So they're just happy to have a quilt made by us. Our family members and everything, unless they've sat here like Scott and watched what goes into it. Even husbands don't know. Mine only does because he's in here all the time.
Are you going to change that blade anytime soon?
I will change my blade soon because I have a whole entire pile of all sorts. Oh, here's my Martelli ones. You know, I have loads and loads and loads of blades here. I've been trying to try all sorts of different brands. Oh, those are the old ones, but I have tons of them. Alpha, what is this one? Missouri Star blades. I mean, I have tons of different ones. I'm not going to change it right now, though, because I'm still working on these t-shirt quilts, and I already did that side. I really shouldn't change it until I'm done and working on the next pretty project.
Okay, well, I think they would appreciate seeing you change.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll change it because I have a lot of cutting to do. So this one still has the t-shirt, because baby clothes, they don't fit, So there's a little bit on this side. The sleeve thing. There's a little bit on this side and a bigger part on this side. Oh, well, as long as the interfacing is holding it down, it should still fit in the seam. And when I press it open, because that's going to sit about like this next to another piece of fabric, it's still going to be just the same. So if I was to press it all on one side, that's a lot of layers to all go on one side. So I definitely press those open. But I leave it there. I don't cut that out.
How do you dispose of your needles and your blade?
Needles go, so I have MS. Most of you all know that. I used to do injections for my MS. Now I don't. And I also used to do injections for my migraines. So I used to inject myself a whole heck of a lot. So I have actually have two needle waste containers. So I just put the needles from here in the needle waste containers. And then my blades actually go into a already emptied container. So you get, once you empty one out, just use it for the old blades, because I save them, because the old blades go dull really quick no matter how many times I turn it in my blade saver. I get about, 5 quilts in the blade saver before I have to change the blade in the blade saver as well. But I use the old ones, and then I put them in here, and then from here they go into the sharps container. And usually wrapped in tape and paper, because it's still sharp and I don't want it open just in case. So let's change the blade real quick, since it needs to be done anyway.
Have you ever had any luck sharpening the blade?
I've never
I
don't have a sharpener, so I've never tried sharpening the blades, so I don't even know how that works. Do you want to tilt the camera down so they can see?
Yeah.
Bring it closer and then tilt it towards the table. Yeah, I got you. Yep. All right, Scotty's going to hold this so you guys can watch me change the blade. This thing is super dirty, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself a cleaning tool. So I have this little cleaning tool. This is not lefty loosey, righty tighty. This is actually righty loosey, lefty tighty. It's opposite. Oops. It would help if I had that closed, because my fingers. Anyway, so I went, the opposite way, and then it's going to pop this screw out, and then the blade just slides right out. Okay, but there's a problem. I'm going to pop this off right here. Get it off. There's a little clip right here. I'm going to pop that off. I'm also going to pop out my only surviving little separator. And do you see all that dust in there? So I'm also going to move this out of the way. It's still connected to the spring. I'm just going to hold it with my fingers, and I'm going to go along these edges and get that off of there. This back, you know what? Give me one of those pieces of flannel scrap underneath the white one. Go next down a little bit more, and there's flannel scrap. Right there. Yeah, those.
This is flannel?
Yep. So I have flannel scrap. I'm just going to use that. I'm still holding it so that I don't disconnect from my spring. Just using, I disconnected from the spring anyway. I'm just going to leave it right there. Don't pull it off. This thing gets so filthy. So filthy.
Does Martelli have a specific blade, or can you use any blade?
Martelli blade is the same as all the other blades. To me, they're all exactly the same.
As long as
it connects. So let me pull out another. Is this a used one? None of these have those dashes. Hold on, I'm trying to find a blade that has the dashes. That one does not. Oops, that's just a marker. That one does. They're all just circles now, it looks like. Yeah, those are more Martellis. What are these? More Martellis. I have tons of Martelli ones. Yeah, so they're all the same to me, all the blades. I've used Olfa in the Martelli. I've used the Fiskars ones in the Martelli. I've also used off-brands. I'm taking my little cleaning tool and I'm sliding it in the cracks and crevices in the channel. Look at this. Ready? I got all that come off of here. Sliding it into the channel to clean that out. It's so filthy. And then I'm going to take my flannel. Oh, every time. I try to keep that spring on, but we're just going to dust it all off. Okay, spring back on. Right there. Okay. Oops. Okay. Come on. Thank you. Ta-da. Okay. We're going to put it back on the back side of this. Into the channel. There's a little channel that it slides into right there.
You're holding it up off camera.
Yeah, there's a little channel right here that the spring slides into. I'm going to slide it back into there. You can see the spring is on the inside of this channel right here, and this part is here, and then the opposite side of the spring is in that channel. So it's in place. I'm going to stick the one piece that's left. It typically has 4, this little thingamabobber. It typically has 4 on it, but mine does not anymore. It just has 1. And then I'm going to take my new blade. That's going to fall out again. Just going to lay it right there for a second. And it's a good thing I have my flannel right here because I can never get just one blade off of here. All right. And they're oily. Be very careful when touching your blades like this because you can cut yourself. Let me tell you, I have done it 500 times. I cut myself all the time when I change a new blade. Try to get it back in there on the hole. There we go. But you can look, look at all that oil on there. That's so you can slide them apart. They fill them with oil. So then I just use a piece of flannel scrap and I kind of get some of the oil off of there. I'm not sliding it, I'm just dabbing it. I'm going to take the blade now very carefully and I'm going to slide it in to that first channel. Not the big one in the front, but the one between. It sits on this opening of this piece, the blade save cutter. It sits in that lip, okay? And on top of that other thing, and then I've wiped this off, we're going to slide this into that front channel. If it'll go in there like it's supposed to. Sometimes it likes to play with me. On there.
Sure the blade's in there, right?
Yeah.
Plastic thing under it.
It's sitting wrong. There we go. Put it back in there like that. Blade. Oh yeah, it goes this way. That's the dummy part I made.
Yeah.
I'm a dummy.
If you're putting it in upside down, yeah.
Yeah, I was putting it in upside down like a dummy.
You're not a dummy.
My brain, I told you guys, I have really bad brain right now. And then it's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. So, which is the opposite. Don't know why they did that, but I just make it to where it's so tight I can't move it anymore. And then
okay.
Fresh blade. My cleaner is just clean the rest of the oil off the blade so it doesn't get on the clothes. There's my couple cuts just to make sure. And these are my old blades. It says old. I put the old one in the old case, and this one says new open. And when it becomes old, I will write with black marker, old.
You had a question earlier. How does your MS affect your quilting and sewing?
Okay, so my MS affects my quilting and sewing because I can't stand very long right now. My legs are, like I said, peripheral neuropathy, or like those that have diabetic neuropathy. It's in my legs it's my mid-spine down. It tingles, and think about it like if you have sciatic nerve pain, multiply that by like 100. And it's constant zaps throughout my legs. It's annoying. They do this and move and jiggle and squirm. Sometimes my arms get it. It's very hard to deal with and manage when my arms get it, because those are the times Scott has to feed me. He has to bathe me because I can't do it myself. I'm so weak and spasming that I can't even bring a cup of water to my face. So it affects my quilting because I can't stand for long periods. I'm struggling with the sitting here because my knees are bent right now. I do better with my legs straight so that they can jerk on their own without the table stopping it, because right now there's stuff stopping it. I get tired really easily during an attack. When I'm not in an attack or episode, I call it, I don't have really that many problems besides, some nerve pain, and I can't like stand for 5 hours straight. Obviously, I don't think anybody really does that unless you have a job that requires it and you're used to it. But I brain fart a lot, so I have cognitive issues. I've cut myself several times. I've sewn through my finger. My vision is getting really bad now. It's getting worse than it was. So like a lot of things affect my quilting with my MS. It's starting to get worse over the years, like I said. So I just deal with it. By the way, I have these trays and I have one in the drawer. They were sent to me a long time ago. I didn't know what to do with them. And then I had an epiphany. Tiffany had an epiphany. I put all of my bobbins that I need to use up on one side, my empty things on the other side, and my walking foot that's always used, and my extra machine cleaning tools and machine stuff for bigger spools and smaller spools. And it literally sits right here under the machine, under the extension table perfectly. It doesn't even come out on the other side. So anytime I need a bobbin, I just pull it out like it's a drawer. That's my new thing. I have another one over there and then another one here in the drawer with like pins and needles in one and blah, 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 blah. So now there's one over there that has pins and cough drops and things that I need while I'm in here. Yep. All right, new blade. So this shark shirt, I'm going to lose a lot of shark if I cut him straight. So I'm actually going to cut him crooked. And then I will sew pieces on the side to make him straight, kind of like a side piece. Because I want to keep Mr. Shark, and I lost the thing. It says bite size down here, but that's within my 1/4 inch seam allowance, so I am not 100% sure I'm even going to get that in. We're going to attempt it right now. No, it's not going to work. Yeah, that's as much as I can cut off of there. This is going to lose a lot of the bottom. Huh? Yeah. And the zipper is also in my way of my rotary cutter, so I'm kind of holding it sideways. But that's okay, because I am cutting it crooked. I'm going to make like a V shape. And I will sew it with pieces to create a square. Chop the top off and then do the other V. We're just going to assume this is straight by using the pocket right here along the top. Wow, that blade is so sharp. All right, so I'm going to go kind of crooked so that I don't lose a lot of my shark. I don't know if I'm just as crooked on this side as I am that side. Let me put it on a line. Put it on that line, and it comes in 3/4 of an inch. Ooh, look at that. See, 3/4 of an inch. Right there. And yeah, that looks right. So I have what is that shape? Excuse me. A rhombus. It's a rhombus shape. And I'll just add to the side to make it square. It'll be cool. All right, guys, I went over rest anyway. My cough from talking, dysplasia, it makes it feel like your throat is closing, so it causes me to cough, and it is irritating. If you have MS, you know. I'm going to get off of here because I'm starting to have like super severe issues and my voice is going to start sounding funky and like weird. Trust me. Some of you have heard it before because it happened during a live stream once.
What was that baby cleaning brush you used?
Oh, the baby cleaning brushes are these. Before I go, we'll show that real quick. They are, I have the whole package right here. They're made by Quilt in a day. Ooh, don't come out. They're made by Quilt in a day, but if you just type in machine cleaning brushes, they're really, really little. But also the Gypsy Quilter from Purple Hobbies also makes these. They are like, what is that word? There's a word for it. This right here. What is this? Eyelash brush. They're like those. So they make those. And then I also, for cleaning machines, I'm just going to show you guys because I have it right here. I also love these, especially on my long arm and my embroidery machine and the Juki. The other machines, I really don't need this one. These ones are more efficient. But I have these kind, which is a brush on one end and a scrapey thing on the other end to get up at the underside of the feed dogs. So there's these kinds. So Quilt in a Day, the Gypsy Quilter by Purple Hobbies, or these, which you can find on Amazon, eBay, you name it. You can get 5 packs of these right here for pretty cheap. So, because they're just pipe cleaners. So, anyway, tomorrow morning I will be on. It's going to be a different kind of video thing because I will be testing. Don't forget, I will be testing a whole new streaming thing with a whole new streaming cameras because I've never done it before. We're going to try it. I tried today, but it doesn't work on YouTube Studio. Go figure. So I'm going to do it the other way, and hopefully it works. And that's it. That's all I got. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your Cinco de Mayo and enjoy some food and family and friends and parties and mariachi music. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.